Hello, this is Val Workman. I'd like to welcome you once again to the Product Management Views series. I'm working with Ryma Technology Solutions as one of the sponsors of this webinar series. And I'd like to thank other sponsors for ReadyTalk for their generous support of the Product Management Views community. I'll be the moderator today, and it's my pleasure to introduce Ellen Naylor as our presenter of today's session. Ellen is the CEO of the Business Intelligence Source, has 30 years of marketing and sales experience across lots of different industries. She's initiated a competitive intelligence, or CI, process at Verizon, which captures and shares competitive data company-wide in commercial, marketing, sales, and product management. Ellen's conducted financial competitive analysis and economic forecasting at Northwest Airlines, which created quarterly reports, forecasting reports on key competitors. And through her skill in integrating sales and marketing intelligence, Ellen helps clients improve customer retention through win-loss analysis and fine-tuning their marketing strategy through analysis of market data and collected at things like trade shows. For those of you who are using Twitter, you can follow and add additional conversation by using our hashtag PMV. This conversation will be posted afterwards on the Product Management Views blog post. I'd encourage you to make comments and ask additional questions on this post, and we'll also be collecting questions throughout the presentation and review them during the question and answer session here, and likewise on the blog post as well. Recently, a new market sensing community of practice, or COP, has been created in LinkedIn, and that would include a link to this LinkedIn group on the post as well. Ellen is graciously considering helping us within that LinkedIn group, and we'd encourage for you guys to be following that if you like this presentation and watch the activity of the group in general. There'll be many opportunities for everybody to contribute in this exciting field. Now I'm going to be passing the control over to Ellen now, and she'll present this week's topic on capturing competitive and market intelligence through elicitation. At the end of the presentation, I'll come back to conduct the question and answer session. Ellen?
Well, good morning, or actually good afternoon for those of you on the East Coast. I'm calling in from Denver, Colorado area, actually from Conifer up in the mountains at about 9,000 feet. We always say we're closer to heaven up here. Thank you very much, Val, for that intro, and we'll get started with this conference call here on capturing competitor and market intelligence through elicitation. And Val has let me know that many of you come from the product management area of life, and one of the goals I have of this session, in addition to teaching you a little more about elicitation, is also thinking about the psyche and working with people in sales. It's always a challenge, and I've worked with a lot of companies in that very area. And really this case study that I'm going to go through is based on a customer asking and being frustrated with product management and sales, the relationship there, and getting at intelligence with both of them through the customer. So when you're dealing with sales, I'll go to the first slide here, second slide here. The sales force, unless they get something back from you that they perceive as equal value, a lot of times they're not going to be very responsive to you. And I'm sure many of you have noticed this. And this goes back to 1993 in one of our competitive intelligence review articles. And so some examples of things you get from sales are like win-loss analysis. Val and I were talking about that earlier. And you can also use elicitation in win-loss analysis as you're interviewing customers. But before we get into what elicitation is, I would like to just kind of explain a little bit more about where and why this came about, this whole process. So this case study is with a customer, and the product managers were really frustrated, and marketing people, because their salespeople were out on calls, and they get back these reports from salespeople that indicate what they learned from the customer and moving along with the process towards making the sale or implementation. And they could tell by the comments that the salespeople were recording from their customers that the customers would have told them more about the competition, about market trends, about technology, all that juicy stuff that product developers want to know about. But for some reason, they hadn't gone that extra mile and provided them with that intelligence. So as I was talking to the product manager who hired me for this,